A return of the old classic. The Ford Bronco first came out all the way back in 1965, making this car way older than I am. Ford eventually stopped making the Bronco, but in 2020, they decided to bring back this old classic with a newer, more modern look and also some nice features. Today, I have next to me the 2023 Ford Bronco Outer Banks. Now, if you look at the Ford website, you'll see that there is about 10 trims that you could choose from. This one is number 4 on that list if you're looking at it from cheapest to most expensive. This one will start you at about $60,000, but I think the features in here make that justified. No matter what trim you choose, this vehicle is an absolute unit and it's made for off-roading in style. Let's go over some key features for this Ford Bronco. So this one is equipped with the Luxe package. It's the most equipped package you can get for the Outer Banks. It gives us some nicer things on the interior. We also have Ford Co-Pilot. That gives us automatic high beams, blind spot monitoring, and rear cross traffic alert. Lane keeping assist as well, and a rear view backup camera that kind of gives you a sort of overhead view. It's not really 360, it's more overhead, and you'll see that when we get on the interior. And you also have your standard backup camera when you're backing out. We also have a towing capacity of 3,500 pounds. So not only is this an off-road beast, but you can also tow. So under the hood of this Ford Bronco, you have a 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost with a 10-speed automatic transmission. It does come in manual for my manual enthusiasts. Good news. If you're putting premium fuel, this car will give you 330 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. But if you use regular fuel, yes, it makes a difference, although a little bit of a difference. It will give you 315 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. It's interesting that they put that metric on the website. So moving on to the front of the Ford Bronco, we have nice, big and bold and a white Bronco logo. You know, we like to see that when they do that. And you have nice daytime running LEDs, big circular headlights that you may find familiar. You've seen them on the Jeep, and it makes sense because the Jeep is the main competition for the Ford Bronco. Moving lower onto the front end of the Ford Bronco, nice and black, also really good ground clearance, and you have nice fog lights as well. A little bit of sensors in the front-facing camera, and when I said it was a unit, I wasn't kidding. The front end is absolutely massive. It's got nice little tie-down points here in the front too. Nice, enough visibility on the windshield. You'll see that when we drive it. But yeah, overall, really cool. Let's take a look at the back. So onto the back of the Ford Bronco. Super nice. Again, you can see that it looks a little bit like a Hummer with the taillights. I don't know why, it just gives me Hummer vibe. But we have nice big Ford badging. Over on this side, we have a nice big Bronco badging. I love that. Again, you can see the ground clearance. You have some connectors for your trailer lights there. It's just rugged. A little bit of sensors too, and a big old spare tire back here too. And then you have your brake light up here. The one thing that sucks about the back, I guess, or I guess it's a flaw in general, there's no rear wiper. Since this is a soft top car, and you know how the doors can come off and everything, well, this can come off all the way as well, but there's no rear wiper, so this is useless. There is a heater inside, but I still can't see anything in this weather. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It's useless if you get this. You've got no rear wiper whatsoever. So let me pop open the trunk really quick here. It's a little quick pull here, and it's sort of automatic, but not really. There's like a little air system that kind of pushes the door somewhat open. Like, so where I have it here, I'm not really going to hit anyone, right? If somebody's parked behind me, I should be able to clear them. But if I push it out a little bit more, that's when I'm a little bit scared about hitting people that are behind you, but it's okay. And then you can see you've got a massive piece of trunk space. This actually will come up, but there's little clips that you have to kind of push it up, but it doesn't open like the hardtop version of this car does. So just keep that in mind, that you kind of have to, there's 2 clips here. I won't do it because it's winter and I don't want to get the inside all disgusting, but keep in mind that this doesn't open. So you kind of have to enter stuff like through here and then push it up a little bit, but it's fine. So far this week, I haven't needed to have any massive things in the car, and usually I don't think you would. So you should be okay with this. So taking a look at the side profile of the Ford Bronco, you can see it's these massive 19-inch tires on this thing. Of course, it's winter. I'm in Quebec. They're mandatory, but they're big enough. They get the job done. If you take the Sasquatch package, the tires get much bigger, and now had the Sasquatch package. So if you want to see that video, take a look on the channel. But moving on, you have a really nice red paint. It looks a little bit orangey in the sun. I haven't had too much sun because apparently it's March and it's still snowing like you wouldn't believe here. But it's fine. I have the perfect car for it and I love it. Nice Outer Banks sticker right over here. And then also you have a nice side step here that you can get in. The ride height is quite high, so that side step really does come in handy. You can really see the soft topness of the car here, but the good news is all 4 of these doors come right off. I'm not gonna do it because it's the winter, but in the summer, you can pop all the doors off, pop that roof off, and you can have like almost a Jeep style. Again, they're going after that Jeep market. Could have almost a Jeep style driving experience off-road, just driving on the highway with that would be a really cool experience. So if I do get the Bronco in the future, I will make sure to do that. But in the winter, that wouldn't be fun at all. So with all that great stuff about the side profile out of the way, let's take a look at the interior. So moving on to the interior of the Ford Bronco, we have a nice massive steering wheel. I feel like if they would have put a small steering wheel, it would have made sense because this car is a unit. You need a unit of a steering wheel. Nice soft touch buttons as well, and nice little Bronco logo on the front here. Overall, the interior is meant to get dirty and then be clean because you have a lot of hard plastic, a lot of like smooth plastic too. But we want to be able to completely destroy it with mud and then absolutely clean it, and it could be just as nice on the off-road as it is on the showroom, and that's important, and I like that they've done that. Moving on to the center console here, a nice big shifter again with that Bronco logo and a little American flag here. Moving lower into the Ford Bronco, you have a nice big shifter here, Bronco logo, nice US flag, and then you have this dial that's called G.O.A.T mode, but really it stands for Go Over Any Terrain. And basically it allows you to switch your drive modes, that'll change your suspension and stuff like that. And so basically, if you're off-roading, it's got a mode for that, but we'll talk about that more once we get into the driving. So since the doors come off in this vehicle, all four of them come off, the window controls are all here on the center console, and also the mirror controls are here as well, because you really can only have a lock and unlock button on these doors, because otherwise you're going to have to disconnect all these things, and it's actually just one connection and whoop, the door is off, and that's nice to know. So of course, this being the luxury package, you have dual zone automatic climate control, you have a heated steering, and you know I love that. You also have heated seats for the driver and the passenger, none in the rear unfortunately, no cooled seats either, but it doesn't really matter. I'm fine with what that is. I like the fact that they put a lot of physical buttons. There is an actual HVAC control system that's usable here. You can do it through the infotainment, or you can do it through here. Speaking of the infotainment, it's a 12-inch, it's massive. You can get a smaller one, but I just feel like for the size of this car, you gotta get a big screen in there too. There's just no point in having a little dinky screen in a massive car. So huge screen, lots of functionality in it, really usable, it's smooth, I haven't had any glitches, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, so you know we love that. It's seamless, you get in the car, bang, it connects, no problems there at all. You've got a bunch of grab handles all the way along the vehicle here that if you have all the doors off and you're off-roading and you need to hold on to something, well, these ones are blue, but in different trims you might find a yellow one, and it's kind of interesting how a different trim will change the color. This one's blue, and I like that. You also have a little bit of blue accents on the vents here too. And if we move all the way up, you have auxiliary switches. I can flip them all on here. They do absolutely nothing for me, but if you were to have a light bar or anything else, it's accessory ready. Ford really stresses that. It is very much, you can have anything you want and pop it onto auxiliary 1 through 6, and it's right there. You don't have to make another button, which is super nice. The seats are also very comfortable. You got that two-tone brown and black leather with a nice Ford Bronco logo there. There's also a little bit of blue stitching here as well, just to match the blue trim right here. So overall, very nice there. Moving on to what the driver looks at, you have a little bit of a digital, little bit of an analog system here where you get all your information. You can change the different things that you have that you see. You can see your fuel, your suspension, where the power is going. But there's also like an analog part where it'll show you your speed. I don't know, I feel like they could have just made this thing a whole screen. I don't really see the need for an analog, but I guess some people like that, and it's fine. I mean, I mostly use the digital screen. I never look at the analog part, but it's fine that it's there. That's gonna do it for the interior. That's gonna do it for the tour. Let's take this car on the road. It is snowing. We just had a snowstorm, so I'm gonna test this in the best way possible. Let's take it for a drive. All right, here we are in the 2023 Ford Bronco, and it has been non-stop snowing, non-stop just doing whatever it likes in the worst way possible here. So I don't even need to take this thing on the trail. I am on the trail. Like, it's just random snow patches, bumps, potholes, garbage Quebec roads, and it's done really well. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better vehicle for the conditions that I'm in right now. Like, it doesn't get any better than this. It's a huge four-wheel drive system that's keeping me in line. I have the G.O.A.T mode if I need it, if I need to change things, if I need to change a setting, it's all there. Overall, the seats are super comfortable. I'm very nicely sitting in here. It's a nice place to spend time. The rear is the same. There's not a lot of big features in the same, but I finally have so much headroom in here. It's just really good. And the same thing goes when we talk about the rear seats. So now, I mentioned that we have a go over anything mode. So let me turn that dial. Right now I'm in eco mode because I'm trying to save money. This thing is a gas guzzler, and I'll mention that in a second. But I can pop it in to sport mode, and it activates that V6 EcoBoost engine we like a lot. So let's see what we got. Let me just go down to the hill here. I mean, like, you're gonna hear the road noise. So hopefully, because of this soft top roof, you're gonna hear the road noise a lot. So hopefully you can actually hear me talk, but hopefully you can hear the engine too, because I find the outside noises, because of the soft top, you can hear a lot of the other engines around you. Like sometimes when a semi passes me, it feels like he's in the car with me. So let's see. Let me just put the brakes on just a little bit here. There's nobody behind me. Thankfully, because the roads aren't so good, I have to be careful, of course, but there's not a lot of people on the road, so I can kind of have a clear lane here. So let me stop right here and let's punch it. Ford Bronco, full power. Holy moly. That really picked up faster than I was expecting. Woo! That's 100. Hey, hello. That was way faster than I was expecting. It picked up way faster than I was expecting. Yeah, that one made me sit up. That'll wake you up in the morning. Oh boy, that V6 can go. That four-wheel drive is, it's right there. That's nice. You know, the roads were clean, so I could do that, but I don't know, I probably have a lot of wheel spin if I did do that in a bunch of snowy weather, but I'm not in snowy weather, so that's good news. Don't care. I mean, I'm in snowy weather, but I'm not in, like, the roads aren't snowy. You know, I'm being safe, for the record. That's the only point I'm trying to make across here. Is I am being safe when I do these things. Now, I mentioned fuel economy. Obviously, now that I'm not in sport mode anymore, because I am as fun and as loud as this car sounds and as fast as it goes, I'm not gonna drive this car in sport mode at all. Just because of the fact that currently I've done about 470 kilometers to date, and I'm on 13.2 liters per 100 kilometers. So yeah, it is a little bit of a gas guzzler, probably not the worst. I mean, it's actually right in line with the Ford Ranger. It was about a 13 in the Ford Ranger too, so there you go. It's a big car, meant to be used. You know, easy to get dirty, easy to clean on the inside anyways. The outside, I mean, it's gonna be like your typical thing, so no worries there. Despite this being a big car, I don't really have too many visibility issues. The windshield is a little bit small and like narrow, but I find that I can see my front end clearly. And the turning radius is surprisingly good, even in four-wheel drive mode. There's a little bit less range in four-wheel drive mode than there is in the two-wheel drive mode. The turning radius is really good. The only thing is a bit weird is when I look to my right here, my right mirror is a little bit blocked by the B-pillar. Just slightly, just slightly. Like, you kind of have to lean here. When your head's like this, you're checking your blind spot, no problem. I have good visibility there and there, but like we said, on the exterior tour, that back window, useless. I have some heating that I could do, but it's useless. I can't see anything out of it. I have to use my mirrors. And thankfully, they're big, they're massive, and they work well. So no, really not a big issue, especially if you want the soft top to be able to take it off and everything. Not a huge deal. So it's no secret that Ford has gone right after that Jeep market, and I haven't driven a Jeep yet, so I'm not able to tell you whether or not this is better than a Jeep. But what I can say is that the Bronco has set the bar so high when it comes to this type of vehicle, to a vehicle that's like ready for off-road and styling, like Ford says. Take off all the doors, remove the roof, have a great time. It's set the bar high, and I'm not even able to do any of that stuff. Just on face value of what I'm able to use it for right now and driving in like changing conditions, not good conditions at all at times this week. It's handled it so well, and I've loved it. I felt safe. Everybody that I have brought in the car says, wow, they've brought back the Bronco and they've done such a good job. So it's not just me saying that, that's a lot of other people think the same thing, and I'm sure that Ford have made a car that people are going to want to buy. They've brought back an old classic, and that's never a bad thing. Now, this is actually the third car that you're gonna see on PRN. Niall had the Bronco Sport, and I think I forget which one it was, but it was a Sasquatch package, so his was big and bold, that thing. And you could get the Sasquatch package on this, but honestly, I don't think you need it. The tires that are equipped here are more than enough to get you through this Quebec winter, and as much as hell as it is, there's more than enough. But the Sasquatch package, obviously, if you can go big or go home, you know. So this is actually the third one that you're going to see on the channel. So if you are interested in the Bronco Sport or another version of the Bronco, well, you can look on the channel, and Niall's already reviewed them. So that's great. I'm just reviewing the Outer Banks, and that's awesome. So you know what? You got the best of both worlds. But I think I'm going to leave it there for the Ford Bronco. Final thoughts are really, really rugged vehicle. Massive, huge unit of a vehicle. It feels like I'm driving a military vehicle. It feels like you could attach any kind of light bars. You got all these auxiliary switches. You could literally blind people. That's how like I think you could do it with, you know? So it's ready for the upgrades. It's ready to be used. It's excellent for off-roading. It's excellent for winter driving. I'd say, like, if you're driving, if your conditions change like once a month or 2 months, 3 months out of the year, you have bad conditions, you might be interested in the Ford Bronco for that reason, because it'll get you through any terrain. GO.A.T mode is real, and it'll get you through anything with the 4x4 system. And I felt safe, and that's the most important thing. And I've been able to feel like I can use this vehicle for literally any need. Plenty of trunk space, plenty of room in the front, plenty of room in the back. Not so good on fuel. I mean, you know, you can't have everything. Not everything's going to be there, but really good in every other aspect. It's fast, huge unit of a car, fun to drive, fun to look at. Other people enjoy it. I mean, I can't say enough good things, right? Besides the fact there's no wiper on the rear view, but you can fix that by getting a hardtop. So all around, the Ford Bronco has been very, very solid. Now, you might have seen that Niall has come back to the channel recently. He's working at a dealership now, and he's able to show you a car and sell you the car. Unfortunately, I can't do that. These are not my cars, but he can sell you those cars. So if you see a car that you're interested in, give him an email, send him an email, give him a call. You know where to find him, and you can buy the cars that you see on the channel now. Crazy. Who else is doing that on YouTube? I don't know. Probably not many people, and nobody does it as good as we do. So you have to subscribe, especially if you made it this far in the video. You have to. It's obligatory. There's no choice. You must. It's completely free. We're never going to charge you for a subscription here on YouTube. So bang, give us that subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you own an older Bronco or you've got an order in for the new one. I want to know what you think, and what version of the Bronco do you like? I mean, there's 10 different trims that you could get with this thing, so let me know which one that you're taking. And with all that great stuff being said, I've had a great week with the 2023 Ford Bronco, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Take care.